All right. Says we're live. We'll see how live we are. Not so lively live chat. For all I know. Oh, my back again. All right. I'm about 30 seconds in here. Says we got one person watching. Now it says we got 4 people watching. There's Hunter Bonnie. Hello, Hunter. This seems like deja vu. Weren't we just doing this last night? And I farted, so what? All right. Well, it's slowly boosting up there. Oh. So chime in. Sounds like Hunter can hear over there, so hopefully everybody's hearing all right out there. We're going to do some finishing on some holsters here. Hey, George. Yeah, last night was kind of a fumble. I shouldn't have bothered. I should have just put it off and done it today, but I figured at the hell being after I got it running, I'd go ahead and run with it. But yeah, I figured I'd do it today, so at least folks get a chance to see it live. All right. So yeah, once we get rolling in here, about 10-15 minutes, we'll start working on some of these holsters that we got to finish on here. In fact, I think I'm going to have to run and grab a couple things here. I know I'm going to need I'm going to need to go get a couple of swabs, cotton swabs. All right. Being I didn't advertise this out in advance, it's probably going to be a slow start, but hell, sometimes when I start these things and do give advanced warning, they're slow starting anyway, so I figure either way, we're going to get somebody in here. But yeah, I got, this morning I got 11 Bang Bangs holster done, one of the many. I got that one. This is one of the ones that are going to be finished. The big thing I got to wait on is I just put the dye on the edges. I figured I'd save time running around doing that on live chat. I just went ahead and put the dye, so I beveled the edges already. I put the dye on the edge. Now I just got to get the burnish on it. But we got 3 of them here we're going to try to finish up. Everybody have a good weekend out there at least? Hey, Sleepy. You know, one thing I miss about using the old StreamYard, whatever the hell that was, StreamYard, yeah. I could run the bar down here and run the email address for ordering holsters, but StreamYard don't like to work when I'm this far away from the Wi-Fi router, so, and Bangs, I've also got a movie running in there, which will be finishing up here in a minute. should just go shut it off. Things ain't there, but may throw a little fit or a hiccup here. And the other thing that might throw a hiccup in my plan is that the Duck Call Room has also got a premiere going on right now on one of their podcasts. So hopefully we catch a handful. All right. And I'm just looking on my feed here. Looks a little bit. How's it all look on your end? Is it a little bit grainy? Because I can't tell on this, and this one's feeding directly on the camera, so it looks perfectly clear to me, but I don't know how y'all are seeing if it's grainy on your end or not. If it is, I'll have to go shut that movie off. Sleepy says quite pixelated. I'll be right back. Shut that thing off and get a little better. Oh boy, now they're really putting in here. All right. So I shut the movie off. We'll see if it kind of clears up here in a minute or two. It's starting to look better on that other end, but it's not the best. But okay, Todd says it looks better. All right. Hell, Thomas, we was having a little bit of a blur issue because I was running too many things on the Wi-Fi. All right. That'll work a lot better then. Yeah, we got a lot more folks on today than we had last night. Of course, last night, that was a long story. I don't know if you all watched the chat from last night, but yeah, I tried running it on this computer, and it kept throwing a fit saying that the camera was in use when there was no other program using the camera. So I restarted the computer. It took 2 hours before I finally got to where I could get something done on here. And then I decided, I'll just go ahead and run with it because I put all that effort in. And yeah, it didn't work out as all that well. But hopefully today some of you folks will get to join in that didn't get to join in last night. All right. Yeah, and I don't know if I can edit. I don't think I can edit. Yeah, Ty, it's really late for you East Coasters. Yeah, that would be about a midnight chat for y'all. Not that we haven't done that before. But yeah, it was definitely late last night. I should have just canceled and done it today because I hadn't advertised it yet. I was just going to go with it on a whim, and yeah, but we had a few folks come in. I don't know how many we wound up getting on for views. Dang, I don't know what I've been eating, but holy crap. This eating healthier food shit don't work all that well. Yeah, we had about 134 views, which that's pretty low for the one yesterday, but any view we get is a view that's greatly appreciated. It's doing pretty good out here, Todd. I'm enjoying it. Kind of miss being home fishing and doing stuff with the family, but I'm enjoying it up here. Can't complain. I like my job. I really like my job. I like not having to drive 35 miles one way, especially with the price of gas right now. Holy crap. $3.50 a gallon. But yeah, so I only got to commute 6 miles a day total, going and coming. I'm pretty happy with it. Got a dollar store not too far away. I can live on 2 weeks, $40 a week. So $80 a trip for groceries. Is doing good. Yeah, Hunter, you're going to have a hard time finding that kind of stuff out there, I'm sure. If you can make it over to Pennsylvania, you might have better luck. I know there's some that do that in Pennsylvania, but yeah, Connecticut's kind of a not so shooting friendly state. Which is sad considering that it was a pivot of the firearms industry in the 1800s. Oh, Todd, I always try to live the simple life. I eat cheap, wear cheap clothes. That way I can get I can get nice toys. But yeah, the latest thing I bought was a nice kukri. I haven't had a kukri I've never had a kukri. So I decided to go with an El Cheapo one just to see if I'm going to like it. And then if I like it, I'll invest in something better. But yeah, Hunter, that's not too bad a wage. It's just about what I make out here. Of course, I imagine cost of living out here is a hell of a lot cheaper than back there. But yeah, I've been trying to. When I first started with the government, I was started out as a GS4. Once I got onto a regular instead of a student job, at that time it was just $14 an hour, and I wanted to get to a GS5 so I could make $15 an hour. Now I'm making that, and it's been 5 years, and I'm still a GS4. So I've gained $1 in the last 5 years. 20 cents a year on average. I think now a GS5 makes almost 17 an hour. 16 or 17. I'll have to look those up, Todd. I haven't heard of them tops. I'll look them up while I'm sitting here, while we're waiting for some more to join in. Look at all they got on here, and this might suck the quality of the picture down while I'm loading this. Ooh, they got some nice looking stuff. A little on the spendy side, but not bad. See what they got for gear, too. It's kind of some spendy stuff, but oh, that's kind of an interesting looking kukri style knife. Tell you what, though, nothing quite beats my K-bar. I love my K-bar. Yeah, man, they are some spendy knives. Woo, damn. I don't see one of them for anything under 100. Which means they're probably damn good quality knives, but ooh, there's a nice one I like. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, they're spendy. All right. Let's see here. Hey, Rusty. Technically, Todd, I'm under a salary of like $35,000 a year, but being I'm only seasonal, they equate it out to the hourly pay. Or not 35,000. I'm right at 30,000 a year. But yeah, they base it on salary on the position, but then they break it down for hourly. So if I got on permanent at the GS5, I'd be making about 32,000 a year, which for a single guy, that's not a bad wage. Sure, I'd like to have more, but hey, there's Garrett. Garrett, it's done. Other than we're gonna put the slicker on it, slick the edges here on this one. But oh, hey, there's Mom. Yeah, it's all in there. I finished it up this morning. Just put the dye on the edge. That's the other reason why we're holding off on finishing these is I'm letting the dye dry a little bit more. Otherwise, it really stains up my. This is a boning tool that I got for doing wet molding. I don't wet mold worth a crap. But this is a chunk of cow bone that my uncle cut out and polished up, and I use it for. It's great for slicking edges on leather. I mean, it is awesome. Uh-oh. All right, I'm going to translate that one right quick. All right. Nail file. Yeah, that's funny. Anyway, Ant CPX, we're glad to have you here. Yeah, I knew Sante, Todd. I probably pronounced that wrong, but yeah, I knew that one. I just couldn't translate out the rest. Well, glad to have you there, Ant CPX. Glad to have you from France. Glad to have anybody from all over the world. Although I imagine it's really late over there. But yeah, this is the other one. I got the edge dyed on it. I about screwed this one up. No, it wasn't this one. It was another one I about screwed up. Oh, it was one that I already shipped. Yeah, it's one that already hit the road. I went to shave the edge down, and I got pretty damn close to my stitch line. So, oh, that reminds me, I got to ship that SOB too. So anyway, yeah, I got that one. That one's got to ship. I'm going to have about 5 ready to ship here next day or two. And we might be having a storm coming in. We're supposed to get storms all afternoon. And the wind's picking up, so might be something to the south. But anyway, hope you all had a wonderful weekend, although it's Tuesday now. But yeah, it's my Sunday, so I go back to work tomorrow. It's the one nice thing about working for the federal government and the job that I do is that I work weekends. So I got the weekdays off. I can actually go do something instead of having the weekends off, and then I'm stuck, having to take vacation time to go get my other stuff done. Although here the post office is only open 2 hours a day, so freaking pain in the ass to get to there. You getting dry down there, Garrett? Oh, we've been getting some rain. The family's been getting some rain back there at home from what I've heard. Not a lot, but some. Really, thunderstorms just kind of go over the town of Fort Laramie here. You go to Lingle, which is about 6 miles east of here. They get hammered all the time. I was out of the fort the other day and a thunderstorm come through and it missed the fort by 500 yards. I mean, it dumped on the maintenance yard, dumped on the hills just outside of the fort, and it missed town by, 3 miles. But yeah, there's a hole right here that everything just goes around. Yeah, rain kind of screws harvest up. I remember that. You can't harvest anything. The first year I worked a full winter up in South Dakota. They harvested millet, and the millet was a little wet. I remember us having to run that stuff through a grain dryer. Oh, Jesus, that was a pain in the ass. Yeah, Todd, that's probably pretty good advice. Oh, Rusty, that sucks. Now, hopefully it heals up soon. Yeah, I've sliced my fingers open a time or two. It's a wonder that I still got my one finger on. Anyway. All right. Well, Benny's, we've been in for about 20 minutes. I guess we'll start getting... Oh, crap, I see something I screwed up on. Shit. Well, still good. Forgot to put the lid on the glue tight. I just put it on there and laid it on there and set it over. Oops. That could have been disaster. But disaster is averted. All right. So this holster here, this is the last holster I made out of the cheaper Tandy leather that I got, or I had. Which I noticed it doesn't burnish as good as this Herman Oak. So we'll see how well this stuff works on it. If I had my Dremel tool, I could burnish it really good, but it just takes a little more effort. But yeah, all I'm doing when I'm burnishing the edges, and you got to go all the way around on these. Oh, damn, Rusty, that's not fun. That is not fun. I feel for you, my friend. Yeah, I've got a Savitor. I've got a Sheffield. I got a Sheffield scalper. It's at work though. It's what I carry on my living history belt, and I really like it. I really do. I like it more than that butcher style knife that they make. Either one of those is appropriate for the time period. Records I've looked at from the late 1840s, early 1850s said that the scalpers and the butchers were the prime knives to have when you were trading. That's what all the Indian tribes wanted, was butchers and scalpers, until the later 1870s when they come out with some of the ebony handled ones and some of the skinning knives, and that's all they wanted was those. Because once those ebony ones hit the shelves, they couldn't hardly trade off the others. But anyway, once I put the what I'm using is Gumtrag EcoFlow. I put that on there with a wool dauber. I've seen some people do it with their fingers. Personally, I don't like the smell of this stuff, so I don't want to put it on my hands anymore, and I got to. But I just put it on a wool dauber, and I put a good amount on there. and I just burnish it until it's dry, or as dry as it'll get. The nice thing about this is I don't have to really force it like I do with water. With water, I put a lot of pressure on it. And then you got the edge kind of bows out and curls out, and your seam line kind of disappears. But with this stuff, I mean, it doesn't take nothing. I'm not putting any pressure. I'm just finger pressure is all I'm doing and rubbing this on there. And I mean, it's slicking up like glass. Now for finishing the edges on these, when I get done stitching, I just take a knife and just kind of shave the two pieces till they're even. It's quicker and easier. I don't have to worry about sanding, but I will sand if, especially if it's not that far off. If it's way off, I'll cut it. Or if I'm going to be getting close to a stitch line, I'll sand as opposed to cutting it. But most of the time, I just cut it anymore. My patterns have gotten to the point where they're so close, there ain't a lot to trim. Mostly what I'm trimming is where I didn't follow the stitch line or follow the cut line perfectly. Yeah, no more than I've done there. I've already got you can kind of see it there, got a glassed edge. But the one nice thing about the Dremel thing is I could round these edges a little better, where they're not as square, but they still looks pretty good. Looks a lot better than anything I ever did with water, I can guarantee you that. Hey, 6-shooter. Rusty, I'm working out at Fort Laramie National Historic Site. Bangs, I've given that away time or two. I don't make any qualms about saying it. I see all kinds of people come through the fort there. Somebody recognized me one day and they asked me where I'd worked at because they'd seen me before. And I said, well, I worked at Bent's Fort in Colorado. And they said, oh, we've never been there. And I said, well, I've had a presence on YouTube. And the guy immediately says, as soon as I said that, he's like, oh, yeah, I know who you are. I said, yeah, I said, you've probably seen some of my videos, especially if you look, because he was asking about the old style gun. So it makes sense that he would have seen me. But, it was kind of nice to run into somebody that had seen a few of the videos that, I didn't know. Hey, Lever Guns. Hey, haven't seen you for a while. How's it going? So anyway, last few days, I should say last few days, last week or so, I've been watching a lot of prepper movies on Amazon. But yeah, any of y'all got any prepper style movies or post-nuclear apocalypse or movies like that aren't just generalized zombie movies? Let me know what your favorite are. I've been kind of enjoying watching them. I've been trying to put together kind of a bug out bag, but I want to keep a bug out bag, everyday carry bag, and keep it somewhat light. Because I don't like leaving shit in my car. But yeah, let's see, 6-shooter. If I make buttstock wraps, I don't. But if I could get a pattern, I could start making them. You talking like cartridge carrier wraps or just a general wrap? I've been thinking about getting some sheep's wool. If you've all seen the movie, the remake of the movie Monty Walsh, the remake with Tom Selleck, the character Shorty carries a 87 lever action shotgun. which, as y'all know, I got one of those. I just need to get the video edited with it that I filmed like 3 years ago and actually upload it. But anyway, if you've all seen that, he's got a sheepskin wrap, kind of a butt pad on it. I've been thinking about doing one of them for that shotgun, just because I thought that shotgun was cooler than hell. Six-shooter just to wrap. Yeah, I could probably come up with something one of these days. Right now I'm slow on all orders because I'm trying to get caught up. I am so far behind on orders, it's not even funny. After I get these ones done, all my current orders will be caught up, minus a set of pommel bags and this one holster that I got to do some tooling on because I forgot to tool it. Forgot to tool it before I dyed it, so that's going to be a mess. I'm going to have to dye all over my hands when I get done with that. Thankfully, it's just a border stamp, but we might do that here tonight too, depending on how fast this goes. As soon as I can kind of think about what I want to do for a border stamp on it. Actually, this leather is slicking out really nice. What kind of leather would you want on that 6-shooter for a wrap? Just chrome tan deerskin, or because deerskin is going to be a little bit on the spendy side. Actually, probably better to do a veg tan wrap because it would last longer. I got too much on that. Way too much. That's better. Oofta. Got a whole lot on that. All right. Jesus, that one's already done. So, yeah, went around the edge on it. Done all the way around. It's slicked all the way around, nice and shiny, just like glass. The only thing I didn't slick on it was this piece right here, and it's going to get roughed up from running this under here. So that one's ready to go, Garrett. But yeah, one thing I noticed is this stuff don't hold the tooling like it'd be nice and sharp when you stamp it, but it kind of fades out over time. Or is that Herman oak, when you stamp it, it holds the stamp really well. All right, on to number 2. Now this one is Herman oak, and this one I made the mistake on. I cut it on the end piece, corner piece of a Herman oak. It's got some twisting in it, but Garrett said he was happy with it, so we're gonna slick it up. This Herman oak takes even less time to slick. I mean, we're already there, and I just started rubbing, and we're already there at slick. So this Herman Oak does have some good stuff. And the Herman Oak that I got in, so I just yesterday got in another order of Herman Oak. I ordered another side. And I unraveled it on the stream last night. Much better compared to the first two that I bought. I was of the opinion on them two that I was not going to go back to Herman Oak, but something told me to give it one more try, and I did. And this piece is pretty freaking phenomenal, if you ask me. I have another two pieces shouldn't have left the factory, but I'm happy with this one. It looks good. It's not overly stiff like that one piece was. It's not going to take a crap ton of oil to soften it. Them others just, I had to put so much oil on them that to the point the oil was almost leaking through. And if you ever dealt with neat's foot oil, neat's foot is the shit. Pardon my French. We're having another uncensored chat tonight. I like neat's foot oil. It does well. But when you over apply it and it starts leaking through, there's no way to fix it. There's absolutely no way to take it out. So you got to be careful with neat's foot. It can be the shits. But when it comes to my favored oiling technique for dry leather, I prefer the natural. Lard can work good too. Nice thing about lard is if you overplay, you just wipe the excess off until it soaks in. Of course, then it's just as bad as neat's foot, but they're essentially both the same thing. Neat's foot is processed lard, processed down to an oil. I don't know what they refined. It's refined into an oil. The other bad thing about neat's foot is on an old holster or an old anything old leather that's got cotton thread on it, it'll rot that cotton. All right. I suppose it would help, again, I did the same mistake last night, to show you what I'm doing. If I turn the camera down to where you can actually see what the hell's going on. So anyway, yeah, I'm just taking this and just rubbing it. I'm only applying this to the edge. Now, I've heard of some guys finishing holsters with this stuff. And it would work. It would definitely seal it. That's what they're using it as a sealer. But as spendy as that little thing was, I think I'm just going to use it for the edges. And I've already put a sealer on this, although I noticed that sealer on some of the stuff I've made for myself does not hold up to long-term rugged use. I put it on a knife sheath. I carried it at work for the, I don't know what the hell they call it. I just said it. Anyway, it's a fivings sealant. Resolene. Resoline's what it is. Anyway, I put black Resolene on some stuff that I made for myself to use at work. And I used it quite a bit for a couple weeks. And when I brought that particular belt home, because I went back to using my other belt, I noticed that everything that I had put that black Resolene on, that Resolene had just peeled off. Let's see. 6-shooter later, everyone, supper time. Good. Have a good supper. We'll catch you later, 6-shooter. See, Todd, I never oil my holster, should I? If they're oiled when they're made, they're probably good. But if you see the leather starting to get dry or starting to crack, Probably something you ought to think about doing. See, I never let a holster leave without getting it a good oil. And if I forget, which has been known to happen, I've been known to forget a few things from time to time. I always make sure to let that, hey, I neglected to oil this holster before I sent it. Just put a little light coat of neat's foot oil on it and you should be good. The time that you really got to worry about it is if it gets a long-term sun exposure or if you just live in a naturally dry climate. It'll just takes the natural oils out of the leather. But if you just give it a good light oiling once in a while, saddle soap works damn good too. I don't prefer to use it, but I've heard of I know a lot of guys use it. It comes highly recommended. Well, Mom, you want to use veg tan, that's the leather to use. That's what all this is veg tan. Herman oak. And I tried to, because I didn't do this belt loop before I put it on, which was neglectful on my part, but tried to put it on the edge there and it got all over the place. Now it's all over my friggin' fingers. But yep, that's another one done. Last one for the night. This one will be a short one too. The ones that take forever are the loop holsters, the Mexican loop holsters. So like these take forever because you got to get a Q-tip to do the inside of every one of these. There's a hell of a lot more surface area, edge area on the holster. So yeah, it just takes longer. Nice thing about these, you can do two edges at once. God, that edge came out so clean already. It's damn near slicked as it is. That was a good leather on that end where I cut that. I mean, it come out smooth. They're done. So those are ready to go. All right, now I'm slow on the chat here. Get caught up on the chat. Hey, Nick. Yeah, no kidding. Trains aren't supposed to blow their horns through town, but they do. All right. No, Mom, only stamp the ones that are ordered for stamping. Yeah, Garrett, I can't get away from dadgum trains. There is nowhere I have lived except for the middle of South Dakota where I did not have a damn train within a mile of where hell, even half a mile. When I lived in Thermopolis, there was a train half mile from the house I was in. South Dakota, there was a train yard right across from the campus when I was in school. At home, I've always had a train right there. And then here, you know, damn trains, same damn trains that run through my hometown there back in Colorado. Let's see. All right. Well, anyway, we got the task at hand done. The other thing I got to do later tonight, is I got another holster that I don't think anybody's bought yet. I don't remember if you bought this one or not. Did I sell you this one or not? I don't remember. If I did, I'll get it done. It'll be ready to go in the box with these other ones here pretty soon. The only thing left is your pommel bags. And then the other two holsters that you asked me about that we haven't got far on yet. But anyway, yeah, that was pretty quick and easy. Yeah, that one's left-hand cross draw, but I've got a left-hand cross draw on the table too. Give me just a second. I think I know which one it is now. This is it. Yeah, this is the one, Garrett. This is the one that was on Etsy. So this one is still not sold. All right. I'm going to put that away over there. So the only other one I got to finish for you, and I'm going to have to go to the spray booth to do that. So let me get yours kind of rounded up together here. I've got this one for you. Like I said, I got to go to the spray booth and finish this one. The pocket model and this one. That should be the ones that I'm ready to ship. All right. So yeah, that only took about 20, 30 minutes. I don't remember when I started, how long we've been in. I think we've been in about 25 minutes or so. So, yeah, it didn't take long to slick those at all. Like I said, triple loops and double loops, the loop holsters take a longer time to slick them. They're the easiest to stitch by far, but they require a lot more time finishing. But yeah, then I've got this one that's paid for and ready to ship, and then its partner. So this one that I just did here, I screwed up on this order. The guy ordered a left-hand cross draw. Well, I made him a right-hand cross draw, so I got a matched pair. But another gentleman's already bought the right-handed version. So that one is, I should have sent that today because I might get it out this week, but I will get it to him next week. Or if I can get a chance while I'm at work. Oh, shit, I'm knocking stuff off the thing, but yeah, that's a Schofield holster. I'm going to put the mold in there, let it set for a minute and kind of form up. I could really thin that down around that barrel. I could really thin that down. But anyway, that would fit. I think that'd fit a 73 single action too. So anyway, there's Garrett's holsters. So these will be popping up on 11 Bang Bang at some point in time. As soon as I get that one finished, dyed, I will get them in the mail. And then I'll get started on the other 3 or 4 that we were talking about. Anyway, but yeah, we got a lot more reception, better tonight. I think it's better to run it earlier at night than to run it at 9 o'clock Mountain Time. Seems like a lot more people are able to get on, and I should have known better than that last night, but I was kind of pissy and like, hell, I'm going to do it anyway. After all the effort I put into trying to get it done, I figured I better do it. But yeah, I was out today, bought groceries, and then I spent a little extra money that I probably shouldn't have spent, but I bought some gear. Went to the gun store. And so there's a store not too far away called Able Tactical. Actually, I don't remember the name of the store, but it's run. Able Tactical is the name of the company that runs it. It's a guy and his wife run it. But I went in there and he had some kind of forestry notebooks that just have some pages on them, hardcover. And I bought one, and he said, he says, I got some notebook covers there that I've made. And he said that fit those. And it was only $20. So I thought, what the hell? I'll buy one of those too. The only thing I got on it is he's got the zipper where it opens from the bottom first. I think it should open from the top first, but this is a pretty nice gig. Like I said, he makes them. So I really like it. It comes with a little map case in here too. So it's got a little map case in it. I hope that was a firecracker, not my neighbor shooting off a freaking 22. He shot off a suppressed 22 yesterday in the backyard. And I got that map carrier out of there, and I can't get it to go back in. But anyway, yeah, it's got a map carrier in it. Got another little compartment back here to store a notebook, like a flip top notebook. I don't know what these little pockets are for. I don't know what the hell they'd hold. They're pretty tight. It's got a nice little pouch here for storing gear, some nice pen holders, some containers on the front that I don't know what use they would be. But overall, I mean, general construction and appearance, this is a pretty nice little thing that I picked up. Figure start carrying it in my backpack, keep notes, take notes on stuff what I'm doing, especially when I'm hunting. Howdy, Tyler, Log Tyler, or Loggy Tyler, however you say that. Welcome. But yeah, the other thing I picked up was just a Condor little bag that fit right nice on the front of my EDC bag. And then I picked up some 22 ammunition, and I paid a little bit too much money for it, but figure I'd help support a local business. And it's the good 22. It's the Guilla. I paid $10 a box of 50, which is pretty steep, but it's comparable, pretty comparable to what the regular prices are. Couldn't find any 38 or 45 Colt. Found some 45-70 at $68 a box, which I said hell no to. Don't shoot a 45-70 enough to justify buying for that price. If it had been 25-06, 65 Creedmoor, I might have considered it if it was good hunting ammo, but not that stuff. Just not plinking rounds. But thinking about, I got a bolt action 22, just an El Cheapo Savage. Was thinking about taking and selling it and getting one of the newer Savages that comes with a rail on it for a scope, and then with the threaded barrel on it. Just upgrade my 22. Of course, for no more than what I paid for that other one, I could probably keep it, not sell it, because I'm not going to get that much out of it, and just buy the other one. But yeah, unfortunately, that guy that I went and bought that stuff from today, he's got a fairly small store, so he didn't have very much for guns. He had a Glock, another one that I didn't recognize the name of. He had a couple 1911s that were too high for me. Had a set me rifle on consignment, which the price tag on that was really good. It's just that I can't justify that much money. I think it was like $700 on there is what he was, what the guy was consigning it for. So something a little over $700, which damn good price, but still too much for me right now, especially when I got to put a new clutch in that Jeep out there that I'm driving. New clutch and a new throw-out bearing, which I'm going to do myself, so that's going to save a lot of money, but I still got to pay $300 for the parts. The throw-out bearing's only $50. The clutch kit that comes with the bearing, that's $380. And they say if you're going to replace the throw-out bearing, you might as well replace the clutch wire in there, because the clutch ain't too far behind. When you got to replace one, you got to replace the other because they ain't that far behind each other going out. But so far, it's not thrown any fits on me. But anyway, well, it looks like the chat's kind of slowing down here, or else YouTube's slow and picking it back up, which could be the case either way. Got one dislike on the chat for some reason. I don't know who the hell that was. But all right, yeah, something screwy up here because the chat really slowed down. Y'all still out there? We still rolling? All right. Yeah, Rusty, there's always got to be one in the group. That one chat I did a few years ago, we got them freaking trolls on there, and I kept blocking them. Well, then they went on and started disliking the chat, and I was like, holy crap. that thing went up but it turns out I think it's one of the chats that's got the most likes on it too, because everybody went in there and started hitting the like button to counter it. But yeah, always that one person. It's got to be that kind of guy. All right. Yeah, it looks like people are still watching. We're just slow today, but yeah, I thought this was going to take longer than it did, and this all went pretty quick. So, and I've got pretty much everything else done except for these. I got to cut some straps for Garrett stuff. But, yeah, cut some straps and get them dyed, and then set the buckles in them. But, yeah, still got a lot ahead of me. But hopefully after I get those bags done, I was going to do some tooling. That's what I was going to do after this. So we're going to do some tooling here. So we'll kind of get set up here. I got to move some stuff around. And I'm going to tool this holster while I'm sitting here. And then I can punch the holes and I can get it sewed and get it out of here too. And then I'll be pretty much all caught up besides the pommel bags. So, yeah, on the pommel bags, I still got to carve them and then put the dye to them, and then I'm going to try to get the bodies all stitched up before then so that I'm ready to go there. I need to set these somewhere where I know where they're all at together. And I still got to do some. It's a little dusty in here. Still got to do this tooling on another piece for this one. This is my set of pommel bags. I'm actually, it may not be mine. I may decide to throw them online and sell them. But these are minimalist. Well, I don't know if you'd say minimalist, but these have very little in the way of tooling, just like on the original. There's not a lot of tooling on it. Yeah, I got to do another side just like that. And then next personal project, I'm going to make a leather sheath for this. I'm going to try to make one that'll sit on my back so that I can carry it on the back there. I went and left my other machete that I bought at home. See, that's my holster. Oh, pardon, I got to move the camera around a little bit. Hey, I was looking for that weight the other day. I wondered where the hell it was at. It was behind a computer. All right, so it all works back here. Well, thanks, Dad. Not very often my parents jump in on this thing. I guess things they all got new smartphones are moving up in the world. All right. This is another project I got to work on too, is making some spur straps. Oh, hey, I need to keep that with that. I need to go put some dye on that too. Oh, it's kind of lopsided. Yeah, I had some old spurs that Dad had. I don't know what happened. He used to have a pair of good ones I used to play with as a kid, and I don't know where the hell they ever went to. These were some cheaper ones that he had, but I don't remember what the hell the other ones went to. If I remember right, they had a chain on them that went under your boot. Had a little bit different rowel on them. But I played with them as a kid all the time. All right. So, for my tooling block, I got this wonderful, wonderful, wonderful piece of granite here. So, this was a chunk of granite countertop. All it is a chunk that was cut off extra. And for whatever reason, this top surface was never finished. But the bottom surface is semi-finished. Need to wipe the dust off it. But anyway, it's about, where the hell I can measure it here right quick. About 12 inches. Yeah, 12 inches. About 12 by 12. Weighs about 30 pounds. Yeah, it's 12 by 12. But the nice thing about it being is the countertop, this one edge here is rounded. So when I lay it down and bangs the backside cement, I always got an edge that I can grab a hold of it and lift it up. Not as big a pain in the butt. But this is what I tool on. Things I keep knocking shit around. I don't want to drop that on the floor. And then my pour sponge that I bought, my sister's cat chewed it up, and it's pretty well rotted, but it'll make do for now. But I'm going to get some warm water here right quick. And we'll see if we can get some tooling done. Okay, and so for the water bowl, I just using a little doggy water dish. This is actually the first one I bought for Dolly. Try to keep her from tipping the SOB over, and she still picked it up and played with it. But I like to use it on the counter because it does not tip. Works really good. Talking about the ones I just showed Mom, those are the ones Mo gave Dad. It's always fun when you got your parents on the live chat and they know everything you're doing. Let me get my chair set back up. Nice thing about this stitching horse is it sets just the right height that I can use it as a stool for this bench. Yeah, I'm going to be down anyway. So anyway, my uncle made me a little block here to put my tools in, and some of these are too big and some of them ain't big enough for stuff, but they work pretty good. And then a friend sent me some actual steel tools because these god dang zinc made SOBs just bend. I bent those with my hands the other day, showing a friend how soft they were. I just took it and pried on it and bent it, and I've bent it even a little more then. But anyway, a friend of mine, she had some extras, just about the same, not quite, and these are good steel. So, just I hope they're good steel. Yeah, they're the same number. This one's got a Z on it though, so that means it's zinc, from what I'm told. And unfortunately, most of my tools, I shouldn't say most, a good chunk of my tools are cheap-ass zincs. I need to sort them out. Anyway, shit, I'm missing one. Missing my, oh, no, it's right there. I just had it in my hand. Okay. I'm not missing it. Trying to think of what I want to do for a pattern on this one. So when you're tooling, of course, got to wet your leather. They say to wet it until it gets kind of a darkish russet, but being that I screwed up and I got out of order on my process and I dyed it first because I was having a brain fart that day and forgot that I was supposed to tool this one. It's already died, so we'll see how this works. This may be a disaster, and I may be starting over again. The good news is that leather. So, hey, Trapper. Yeah, my good old Smoky. Actually, it's not Smoky Bear. That's Forest Service. I'm Park Service. I don't know what they call that one. Guess we can call it Smoky Bear. Or maybe, yeah, Smoky Bear is Park Service, isn't he? I always thought he was Forest Service. He's not. He's Park Service. And that's what I'm afraid of. The water ain't going to want to go in with the dye on there. Is going to block the water from going in the leather. Shit. Well, boys and girls. It's slowly starting to take in there. Note to self, never dye before tooling. Oh boy, this ain't gonna work worth a crap. I may have to just go dunk it. I don't want to have to dunk it. But that may be my only recourse. Son of a biscuit eater. Just keep applying some water here. It's slowly soaking in. So, boys and girls, lesson learned. Don't dye first. Otherwise, it don't soak in crapola. We may not be doing what we're going to be doing today. Or here. Shit. All right. All right, it's taking some there on the front body of it. So let's see if it will stamp. See the water standing up on top of it. It's not soaking in through the dye. So, shall we try it? Hey, it's going to take. Okay. But yeah, as a word of warning, boys and girls, when you go to stamp leather, do it before you apply the dye. Otherwise, you're going to wind up like me and look like an idiot on live. Ah! Shit's falling off the desk. The other downside to this is I have a hell of a time seeing. And I never have light in the right place. Okay, now when I come to the corner, I go down. Because if you have a little bit of an overlap, it's really noticeable in the corners. No, it's not going to be as noticeable. All right. So I'm just using I think it's called a veiner or a camouflager. This is a camouflager. And I just go along the edge. And I'm following along the stitch edge on this one. Sometimes I'll run a cut an extra groove. All right, so I know that's not too wet past that, so I'm not going to worry about going too far past it. Then I'm going to come down here to the bottom. I'm going to go all the way across on this one. If I was doing a basket weave, I just go up I just go right up the middle. I'd take my swivel knife, I'd actually cut the window. Then I go up the middle of it and set kind of a pane, and then I go around that, and then I would do the basket weave. Then I'd do a border around the basket weave, inside and outside border that kind of covers up the rough edges. Yeah, it's getting a little drier over here on this side. I think it'll do enough to hold. Okay, so that's all the way around there. Whoa, 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 what's going on here? Shit. Okay, we're good. This holster, we went across the mouse pad in here, and it went went kind of crazy here. Howdy, Victor. Glad to have you in. Oh, I know what I need to do. I'm going to let that sit there and just kind of wet that. I need to find my maker stamp. Yeah, it's pretty apparent that you don't want to apply dye before you do your stamping, because it don't want to take water. No, Rusty, I haven't went poop yet. I'm going to have to here pretty soon, though. Won't be long. We'll finish the chat up here, though. Oh, hey, what do you know? I already beveled the edges on the inside of that. I was already ahead of myself that day. I don't know what I was doing that day, but I already beveled them edges, so beveled and burnished. Okay, this is the very important part, making sure you get the maker's mark straight up and down. So I'm going to try to center that as best as I can. And then it helps if you get a good tight grip on it. Perfect. Now this is a magnesium one, so I don't want to apply heat to it, and I don't want to hit it with a hammer. That's what I get for going for cheap. Yeah, we got a good maker's mark stamp there, and then I'll kind of decorate that up a little bit. Should have put my hammer away. So I'll kind of, let's go with a other one. So I'll take and stamp. And we'll split the difference. This just makes it look a little nicer, a little fancier. Means the gentleman that ordered this wanted to have a nice stamp around it. And then last thing I do is I take a mule's foot and I'll go in between here and give a little extra. I thought I could make some extra money. I'd actually stitch up a bunch of holsters and take down to the gun store and sell them. He had a ton of black powder guns down there. Last time I was down there, all but one was sold. I should have took a bunch down there and tried to sell them. All right, so we're going to continue on. Put my tools back here in the block. Go ahead and finish going around the edge here with the camouflage. And this particular holster, the gentleman that ordered it, he wanted a single loop. So this is actually the double loop holster. I just skipped a couple loopholes when I cut the loopholes. I had another gentleman that ordered a matched pair of the same thing, and those turned out very beautiful. Actually, they're going to be. This is going to be just about identical to those. Oh shit! I should have done that a little different. Oh well. It'll look all right. So anyway, I started to ask earlier, tried to get a conversation going there in the side chat about prepper movies. What all is your favorite prepper movies? Post-apocalyptic, not so much zombie-oriented, but there's a lot of those style of zombie movies out there. I've been watching a lot kind of this last week, last couple of days more like it. Watched a couple of good ones, and I watched some that weren't that great. There was a couple in there that were just outright terrible. All right, so now I'm going to kind of finish this up. Put this stamp in here. Now, that stamp's going to be kind of hard to do in here because of the fact that everything is so tight. I should have skipped over the trigger guard area. What I'll do is I'll come in with a bit different camouflager tool here. Just kind of do that. I think it looks nice when I do it that way. It looks better than just an open hole. Kind of covers things up. Kind of hurry up here because it's starting to dry. Oh, it's still taking good, Really good stamp. It's starting to dry out a little bit. So this stamp that I'm using here is called a Sunburst. I don't know how well y'all can see that, but it's kind of like a camouflage tool, veiner tool, whatever they call them. Only it's got some dots in it. Works really good for border stamping. Rusty says time is 8:24 Eastern. Must be getting late over there. Not as late as it was last time when we did the chat. Oh, you probably the other reason why this thing don't want to bend is probably because I put neat's foot oil on it, or didn't want to take water. It's because I put neat's foot oil on it. That was probably my downfall. And boys and girls, that is a border stamped holster. So there it be. This area is always kind of screwy. I should have just skipped over it. There's the maker's mark with the stamping around it. Kind of make it look a little nice, a little fancier. While this holster's damp, I'm going to go ahead and kind of give it a little bit of a bend. Just kind of a pre-shape. Not going to get too carried away with it. So I do not want to make it to be a pain in the butt trying to, because I still got to punch holes in it. But I'll let that dry. I'll get the holes punched and then this and I'll be ready to stitch. But yeah, the guy that ordered it wanted it just in plain leather, but thanks to a blemish that was in this vicinity, the leather had kind of a really brown color to it. It come that way. So I put the dye on there, and I mean, it blended right out. You can't even tell it was there. All right. Well, we've been going for about an hour and a half here. Looks like we're down to about 7 viewers, so things are kind of winding down here. I wish that had a bigger hole that it'd fit in. So yeah, we got to see a couple processes. Got to see finishing, got to see tooling, basic tooling, stamping more than tooling really. So yeah, we'll give it another, we'll give it 5 more minutes here. If anybody's got any questions, comments, concerns, doesn't look like anybody watches any prepper movies because nobody made any suggestions on there. But yeah, we're glad to have everybody that showed up here today. And while I'm looking here, go over here and check up something here. Yeah, Rusty. I'm going to have to start doing something different on the live streams. Maybe I ought to just do a history. Well, take that back. I'm going to be doing a history live stream here one of these days, but it may not be on this channel. But there may be something in the works. But yeah, if you guys got any ideas what you'd like to see done in the live chat, go ahead and throw them down there, and we'll see if we can make it feasible. Pattern making is kind of something that's a pain in the butt because it takes multiple tries sometimes. I've only had 2 or 3 patterns that's come out right the first try. Flap holsters are not one of those. I always got to frick around with a flap holster pattern 3 or 4 different times before. But yeah, if y'all got any suggestions, throw them in here. We'll let it run here for a few more minutes. And there's another dadgum train. Boy, they're running a lot of trains today. It always reminds me of that scene from A Few Dollars More where Clint Eastwood goes to see the guy that can, the old guy that I guess he called him fortune teller or something. And he's always sitting there, trains, because of the trains, damn them. Whee! All right. Well, it's pretty quiet on the chat there. Yes, Tuesday nights aren't good nights to do it. I think the best nights we had was Thursday nights. Seemed like Thursday nights we got a lot of folks on there. No, I'm not Wheels and Levers. I'm not related to him, but his saddle shop was just 30 miles from my hometown. And the name's spelled the same, but I've looked in the records, and I can't find anything that were related. I do know that in the 1880s, he went to work for a saddlery in Denver. Or maybe it was the 1870s. I get my ears screwed up. But I know by the 1890s, he was running his own saddlery out of Pueblo, Colorado. R.T. Frazier. And he made holsters. Hey, Senator. Yeah, Brain 10. Yeah, I can. Yeah, I've been there, done that. I know your pain. Anyway, yeah, R.T. Frazier, he made holsters. So kind of getting more into the Buscadero era holsters, some really fancy double loops. He had some shoulder rigs, those that had the clamp, which I found the clamps. I'm going to try to make one of those one of these days. But they're a shoulder holster for the single action Army. And there's a spring that goes around the cylinder to hold it in. He has a couple patterns of that. Plus, he made saddles and stuff. But I always tell people that know what I'm referring to, that you get a good Frazier holster when you buy a Western holster from me. You get an actual Frazier holster. That's the joke I'm referring to is R.T. Frazier was in. In fact, let me find my book. It's too bad my initials aren't RT, or I would have. I really could have said there was an RT Frazier, and I set that on a wet surface, dumb ass. I guess it ain't real wet, but it's damp. Okay, set this where I won't bust my toes with it later. So let me look here in the holster book. This poor book's getting a lot of use out of it. Glossary, endnotes. Oh, let's see, that's modern reproductions. That's a Buscadero. That's Buscadero. That's Buscadero. Yeah, 20th century. We don't want Buscaderos. That's H.H. Heiser, which Heiser was another one out of Colorado. Heiser saddlery. Once in a while, you can come across a Heiser saddle. Let's see, Heiser again. I think all these are Heisers. Heiser. I'm not going to show you that Heiser one because that one's got an image that would get me demonetized just like that. That's J.S. Collins. I know there's some R.T. Frasers in here. Ooh, I need to try to make one of them. It's a Model 94 saddle scabbard, but it's got cartridge pockets on it. I should try to make one of those one of these days. But that's going to take a whole lot of leather. It's going to take a shit ton of leather. All right, now I got the long guns. I know R.T. Fraser's in here somewhere. That's a Myers, maker unknown. That's one like a Fraser. That's First Now. Charles Cogshall, H.H. Heiser. Oh, damn it, I know there's a Fraser in here. Where the hell's it at? Garrett, are you still out there? Oh, page 137. Okay. That'll save me some flipping. That's Gallup. Bray. R.T. Fraser. Yep, there's one. So this one's a Mexican double loop. You can see there, that's an R.T. Fraser. They've got one of those clip holsters in here. Shoulder holsters of an R.T. Fraser, I think, or else I'm thinking of one I looked up online. And maybe one I looked up online. I bet that's where I seen that one at. It's not in the book. A lot of Gallup. Miana saddlery. Miana. Yeah, I bet I looked that up online because there was a lot more R.T. Frasers than what they're showing in here. But anyway, yeah, there was a couple RTs I thought in here, but I could be because there's a really nice, yeah, there it is. It's really nice 1911 holster. That's an R.T. Fraser. That's a Fraser holster. And I'm going to try to make one of those one of these days, but God, I got a lot of practice to get in before I get that far. But yeah, he even had his own snaps because this one's got R.T. Fraser saddles, Pueblo on the snap that holds the strap down. I could have sworn there was more than that one in here, but they're probably in here. I just haven't found them yet. Yeah, there's another RT. So there was these styles, and I'm going to try to make one of these days. It's a single loop, but it's a really wide loop. That single loop, it starts up here and goes all the way down here. So I'm going to try to do one of these days. And then there was T. Flynn saddlery out of Pueblo, the same time period as RT Frazier. So, dude, Charles Swope, I bet he's related to the Swopes. I know they're from the same town in Colorado. But anyway, yeah, he made some good stuff. I just know those Frazier saddles, when you come across them, if they're in pretty good shape, they command a pretty high price. And if anybody could show me where this diamond pattern stamp, I don't know how well you can see that, but it's a diamond pattern stamp. If I could find one of them, I would be a happy, happy man. Yeah, Frazier came in the later 1800s, 1890s, if I remember right. I don't remember who he started working for. He started working for somebody in Denver in the early 80s, late 80s. But anyway, I went over my extra 5 minutes. We're now about an extra 15. So yeah, if you got any last minute questions here, we're going to shut it down in about 3 minutes. We'll be at an hour and 45. And this chair is starting to really bite into my butt, so I'm going to have to find somewhere else to sit. Would be nice if I get somebody to make me a reproduction RT Frazier stamp, and I can get an actual reproduction of one of his. I know there's some guys out there that do that. They get reproductions of original stamps to make copies. What I'd like to do to get for my maker stamp, I've looked into doing this. I just haven't found justified doing it yet because I don't want to make a stamp with a location on it until I actually kind of figure out where I'm going to be at in the next couple of years. But I'd like to get one of those long, skinny, rectangular ones. The one I got now, well, I showed it on there. It's a round oval, which does all right on the holster body. But when you want to start stamping it, like the loops on the double loops, it's too wide. I can get away with it on this one here because it's a single loop, but I'd like to get one of the long, narrow ones. Get a couple different ones anyway. But if I'm going to wind up staying in Wyoming long term, I'm going to get the stamp stated for Wyoming because then it would be period appropriate. Because the place I'm from in Colorado didn't show up until 1901. All right. Well, we're going to go ahead and shut this down. We're at an hour and 45 minutes. Not going to do a 3-hour chat tonight. The site chat ain't busy enough to justify that, but if you got any ideas for holsters or if you want to look into ordering one, email me, DukeFrazierProductions@gmail.com. So it's just like it appears on the channel. Make sure you got the D, F, and the P capitalized and then @gmail.com. You can place orders that way. You can also do it through the Facebook page, which is also Duke Frazier Productions. But yeah, right now I'm slow on orders. But if you want to place an order, I don't know when I'll be able to start getting to the newer ones. I'm still trying to get caught up here. So yeah, my regular job cuts into my holster time quite a bit. I got to do it on my days off, and I've got other things I got to do besides that too on my days off, like lawn care and house cleaning and all that good stuff, which I need to do some more of that too. It's not terrible. Not like my house back home in Colorado, but Mama Murphy, you showed up right at the end. We're just getting ready to shut this down. So anyway, thanks for all jumping on here. Yeah, I figured I'd go ahead and do the one today. Bang's the one last night was late. Not a lot of folks could come to it. So I figured I'd give this opportunity for the rest of you to come in and do some other stuff on there that we hadn't done before. Do some finishing, because if I didn't do it on this live chat, who knows when I'd have a chance to show that again on one. But yeah, we'll either do one next week or the week after. We'll see how it goes. I'm probably going to start doing the pommel bags on whatever the next chat is. So as soon as I get some of these holsters taken care of, get them shipped and get them ready to go, then we'll start working on that. But yeah, we're trying to stay busy as we can over here on this end. So y'all take care. Glad to have you here. Be sure to stay tuned. Keep your powder dry. Y'all stay safe. God bless. We'll catch you on the next one.